Okay, I am back. So we are live on Zoom now. You can go on Zoom to also join. So please confirm you can hear me now. Please confirm you can hear me. What's wrong with this thing tonight? Okay, thank you. I appreciate the feedback. So I'm going to share my screen now. If you can't hear me, you can just watch via what's it called now? You can join us via YouTube if you can't hear me here. You can just join via YouTube. It's the same content. I'm trying to share my slide. Network is kind of slow. I'm trying to share my slide. I believe you can see my slide now. So tonight, we will be talking conquer common grammar mistake. And if you're ready tonight, I'd like you to get your writing materials and water, as tonight is going to be fire. If you're here and you've attended my classes before, you know I never disappoint. So tonight will be better. So I need you to get your writing materials ready and your water. I have my water here as well. So I'm also ready. So two things will happen tonight. Two things. The first thing is you will learn how to correct common everyday grammar mistakes. So those grammar mistakes that people make every day or you make every day, you would learn how to consciously correct yourself, enabling you to be able to speak and write more effectively, and of course, be perceived as a high valued individual. The second thing is you would learn simple hacks for using punctuation marks correctly. When you write, also when we speak, we use punctuation marks when we speak, just that it doesn't show like marks. Rather, it influences our tone. But for punctuation marks, we would focus on the writing part. So you will learn simple hacks for using punctuation marks correctly. So grammar as a word, grammar as a skill in language, especially in English language, it can either be a secret weapon or a biggest weakness. It can be your secret weapon to being perceived as that highly valued individual, that great professional, that phenomenal entrepreneur, or that great person in your sphere of life. And that same grammar can make people see you as, oh, this person is not worthy of representing our company, or this person is not a high valued person. So grammar is a very big key in how people perceive you. But the truth is, whether it is your secret weapon or your biggest weakness, the truth is tonight you're still going to learn one or two things that would help improve that, whether it's your secret weapon or that would help turn your weaknesses into strength. So all I need you to do right now is be open-minded, be focused, don't be distracted, write your questions somewhere as I teach. Then when I'm done teaching, we can then talk about your questions. So congratulations once again for being here tonight. My topic again, common grammar mistakes and their corrections. First, I'd like to talk about idioms. Idioms are phrases that have figurative meanings. Figurative meanings are different from literal meanings. I remember when I was in secondary school, or we were preparing for YSSC, when we go for YSSC classes, we answer past question. There's this very common question that you would usually ask in YSSC. They tell you, the man kicked the bucket. What is the meaning? And a lot of people that have not learned that will feel, okay, it's just that the man kicked the bucket, or is it that the man died, or what? So the thing is, when you say the man kicked the bucket, literal meaning is you have a bucket and he kicked it like a ball. But of course, it has figurative meaning, which means someone is deceased. That is, the person is dead. Those are idioms. Now, another thing you must know about idioms is that they are carved in stone. What that means is the way idioms are written, you cannot change them. Even if it sounds grammatically wrong, or it's not sounding sweet, like my sister would say. If I correct my sister on some grammar errors, my sister would say, but that one is not sounding sweet. So even when it's not sounding sweet to your hearing, or it's not sounding like it's correct, if it is an idiom, and if that is the way the dictionary has stated it, then that is what it will always be. So when we say something are carved or set in stone, it means that we cannot change that thing. It means that we cannot change it. So idioms are carved or set in stones. We can't change them. The way they are written is the way they will be written every other time, always, always, always. So let's consider some idioms that we often mispronounce, or we often not mispronounce. Don't mind me, I teach a lot of pronunciation classes. Or we write wrongly. One of them is, I wish we could turn the hands of time. As a Nigerian, I know we have Ghanaians here tonight as well, but I'm more familiar with the Nigerian environment. In Nigeria, we would say, I wish I can turn back the hands of time. I wish that time can go back to yesterday. That is wrong because it's an idiom. The expression turn the hands of time is supposed to be an idiom. And according to the dictionary, the right way to say it is put the clock back or turn the clock back. So you're expected to say, I wish we could turn the clock back instead of turn the hands of time, or I wish we could put the clock back. So it's an idiom, it's carved in stone, you cannot change it. That's what it is, and that's what it will keep being. Another idiom that we often misuse is I could care less. The actual meaning of this is when you're trying to tell somebody that that person is not worth worrying about, you do not care about them. The right thing to say, according to British English, is I couldn't care less, not I could care less. So for example, if somebody is saying, handle the phone well, and you say something like, I couldn't care less, it means it's not worth handling well. If it falls, it falls. Nothing would happen to it. But Nigerians will usually say, I could care less. Now, in North American, yes, you can say, I could care less. But in British English, when you say, I could care less, it's giving another meaning, which means you care a little. So if you're trying to say that you care a little, feel free to say, I could care less. But if you're trying to say that this thing is not worth worrying about, then you should say, I couldn't care less. The next idiom for tonight is, don't pour salt in my wound. In Nigeria, we use that to mean like, don't add more trouble to my trouble. Don't make things worse. But of course, the right way to say that in standard English is, don't rub salt into the wound. So take note of the word pour. It's not pour salt, rather it's rub salt. Excuse me. And it's not in my wound. When we talk about articles or pronouns, it is important that we use the right one. Now look at this expression again. I want to highlight this part. In my wound. My there is wrong. The right thing is into the, not my, not your wound now, but the wound. Let's take another example. Considering the article there. Imagine the sentence. I need to take my bath. This is wrong. It's not my bath. Rather, I need to take a bath. Now, some of these things, aside from the fact that idiom is not something you can change, you don't have the capacity to change it, you just have to use it the way it is. There are other things in English, especially in grammar, that you cannot just explain how it becomes. Some of them, of course, they have their explanation, but in terms of basic knowledge, explaining them would further make you confused. So one of the things I usually recommend is the dictionary. And tonight I'm going to share with you how to use the dictionary correctly. But let's proceed. So don't rub salt don't pour salt, rather. Don't pour salt in my wound. Rather say, don't rub salt into the wound. Take note of that. Into the wound. And it rub salt, not rub salt and not pour salt. Now the next is, jokes apart, everyone needs this lesson. If you're here and you used to say jokes apart, let me see your favorite emoji in the group, in the chat. Let me see your favorite emoji in the chat. I'm waiting for your favorite emoji. Let me go to the chat and see those that are with me. I didn't know I was muted. I love the emojis. I love the fact that you're sincere and you're using the laugh emoji. Well done. Well done. Yes. Before now, of course, I used to say jokes apart too. Well done. So as Nigerian, it's just normal language. It's normal grammar for us. It's normal grammar for us. But thank God we're here tonight. So henceforth, You don't want to say jokes apart again. The right thing to say is joking apart or joking aside. Please take note, there is no S in aside. It's not asides. It's not asides. It's aside without the S. So anytime henceforth you want to say jokes apart, correct yourself and quickly say joking, add the ing, turn it into a gerund and say joking apart. So joking apart, everyone needs this lesson. Joking aside, everyone needs this lesson. Now, one of my personalized clients for grammar, I remember many times when we are learning, she's always going to say that, but Miss Bukola, all these things you're teaching me, if I make conscious efforts to use them in congregation, in public, would people even feel I am the one wrong? I know you might be feeling like that as well. Because number one, there is a certain way we speak English in Nigeria. And because everyone speaks it naturally in Nigeria, because a lot of people do something, makes that thing right. But it's not always true. Because everyone does something a certain way doesn't mean that thing is always right or that thing should be done that way. So because everyone is saying jokes apart, you should not, you then should not have to say jokes apart. You can take that conscious effort and say joking apart. Now, the worst that would happen is they would think you're the wrong person, the wrong speaker. And maybe one of them might even come and ask you, why are you saying joking apart instead of jokes apart? And you can then, at least if you can't explain why, remember one of the reasons is because it's an idiom. That is how it is in the dictionary. You can't change it. Another thing you can do is to go to the dictionary and show it to them. If you go to the dictionary right now and you search for jokes apart, aside from some dictionaries that aren't authorized in English, this is one of the reasons why I do not recommend that you download dictionaries from your phone store, maybe from your app store or your Play Store. I do not recommend it. I do not recommend downloading dictionaries from app stores or your laptop store or Microsoft store. I do not. I recommend that if you want to use an online dictionary, the first thing you can do or you should do is to buy from the source, buy from Oxford if you prefer the Oxford Dictionary, buy from Cambridge if you prefer the Cambridge Dictionary, buy from Longman if you prefer theirs. If you cannot afford it, you can then use your browser. Use your browser because most times the ones on the App Store, and there are a lot of pirated copies there already. And most times they come across putting in these common expressions, telling you it's standard English. So like I said earlier, we're going to practice that together, how to use your browser to access the correct copy of a dictionary. So please, henceforth, do not say jokes apart again. Rather say joking apart or joking aside. The next is funny enough. Funny enough, I didn't see him. Funny enough, I've not eaten since morning. Funny enough, I didn't attend my sister's graduation ceremony, etc. Oh, there's a spelling error in this. Let me spell it here. The right spelling is funnily. Where is my pen? So instead of saying funny enough, please say funnily. Funnily enough, I haven't eaten since morning. Funnily enough, I'm not interested in that movie. Funnily enough, the joke isn't funny to me. Funnily enough, not funny enough. Do not say funny enough, rather say funnily enough. Now remember again, why is funny enough wrong? It is wrong because it's an idiom. If you go to the dictionary, there is nothing like funny enough. What you will find is funnily enough. So remember, idioms, they have figurative meanings, not figurative meanings. And of course, they are carved in stones. So if the dictionary has written it a certain way, you cannot change it. Even if it sounds wrong, you can't change it. Excuse me. Now, next is some words that we use as nouns instead of adjectives. We use some words as nouns instead of adjectives. An example is mediocre. This word is not mediocre. I think that's what I heard someone pronounce it. It's mediocre. Mediocre. Now, it is an adjective. And like we were taught when we were in primary school, adjective tells us more about a noun or a pronoun. They describe a noun. They describe a pronoun. So for example, you say something like, she is beautiful. You say something like, she is short. Now, sometimes you can use it before the noun. So you can then say, she is a short girl. Now, same with mediocre. You should not say she is a mediocre. She is a mediocre, rather. You should not say she is a mediocre. Please say she is mediocre. You do not need the article a, because mediocre in that sentence is acting as an adjective and not a noun. The next is talkative. Talkative is also an adjective and not a noun. So it's wrong for you to say she is a talkative. Rather say she is talkative, not she is a talkative. Simply say she is talkative. So when you have a word, one of the things you want to also do when you get to the dictionary is to ask what part of speech the word is. That then guides you to be able to use the word rightly in a sentence. So talkative is not a noun, so you do not need an article. Mediocre is not a noun, you do not need an article. And many other words like that. Now let's talk about articles. Of course, you should know that we have two types of articles. We have the definite article and the indefinite article. The definite articles are the articles that talk about specific thing. So we have, excuse me, the indefinite article. The indefinite article does not talk about a specific thing. So indefinite article, we have an example like, for definite article rather, we have a and an, or for indefinite article, we have the. So we have words like, we have sentences like, I can see a car, any car out there. But if you say, I can see the car now, you're being specific about the car you saw. I can see the car. Oh, that car, yes, the car you told me about yesterday. But if I say, I can see a car, which car exactly? Was it the one we spoke about yesterday? Or the one in the movie we watched? Which one? A car. So sometimes when we write, we're not sure if we should add an article to our writing or we should not add an article to our writing. And one of such example is, that was a slip of tongue. A lot of us say that. In fact, somebody said that to me earlier this evening. That was a slip of tongue. In this expression, you need the article the. So you should not say a slip of tongue. Instead, you say a slip of the tongue. That was a slip of the tongue. Please forgive me. It was a slip of the tongue, not a slip of tongue. Some people would also say it's a slip of the lip. According to the dictionary, there is nothing like slip of the lip. Many things about one of the things, or one of the reasons why Nigerians use poor grammar is because we tend to use something closer or another thing that sound like the real thing. We use it in place. But the way English is structured, there's some things that you cannot be creative about. There's some other things that you can be creative about. For example, if I don't want to say she's a beautiful girl, the adjective beautiful there, I can decide to change it and say she's a pretty girl. She's a cute girl. She's a gorgeous girl. All of these words, they can stand in for beautiful. But there's some words, there's some expression in English that you cannot be creative about them. You cannot use their synonyms. You cannot use words that have similar meanings. You can't change it. You just have to stick to what it is. So you cannot say it is a slip of the mouth or it is a slip of the lip. No. According to the dictionary, you simply say slip of the tongue. However, you can also say a slip of the pen. A slip of the pen. When you talk about a slip of the pen, that is talking about a small mistake in something when you write. Maybe something you have written and there's a mistake. So that is a slip of the pen. But when it is something you said, then it's a slip of the tongue. Take note of that. Another is she is in coma. When we talk about health challenges, there is a need for article A. Health challenges like coma, like headache, like cold, cough. You should use A. She is in a comma, the article, excuse me. The article A must be there. She has a cold. No, she has cold. She has a cough. She has a throbbing cough. She has a bad headache. So when you talk about health issues, health challenges, we should use article A. A. Now, can you please give me examples of health challenges in the comments, in the chat? Adding the article A, let me try to find out some of them that might not be correct. I'll consider the first three examples. Ikechukwu already edited the spelling of funnily. I already changed it, even though I can't edit my slide. I wrote it out using a pen. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Okay, so let's consider the first three illnesses. Yes, to suffer a stroke, you suffer a stroke. So she has a stroke, not she has stroke. Is there anything like tummy ache? Tummy ache, tummy ache, tummy ache, tummy ache. Okay, let's practice using the dictionary together to find out. So let's just do that together once and for all so I can note that is done and dusted. I'm going to stop sharing my slide because I need to share my screen. So let's find out if there is a word like tummy ache in the dictionary. Remember, as I said earlier, there are some words that you can be creative about. For example, if I do not want to say good evening, I can decide to say jolly evening. I can decide to say it's a hot evening. I can decide to say something else. And changing the adjective, the good there, to jolly, it's a C. There are some words that you cannot be creative about. You cannot use their synonyms. You can't change them. You can't be creative about them. So let's find out. I'm going to stop. Okay, I already stopped sharing. So I'm going to share my screen again. I'm trying to share my screen. I believe you can see my screen now. So if you're using a phone, you're just going to, oh, sorry, I stopped sharing again. That was a mistake. Okay. So if you're using a phone, I'm going to explain using a phone. So if you're using a phone, what you should do is you go to your browser, whatever browser you use, Opera Mini, Safari, Microsoft Bing, anyone you use, Chrome, just go to your browser and you type what you're about to check. So right now we want to check if there's something like tummy ache, according to how the person have written it. Then you add the name of the dictionary you'd like to use. So tummy ache meaning. The name of the dictionary I'd like to use, let's try Cambridge. Even though I prefer Cambridge for pronunciation, I love Oxford for meanings and grammar usage. So according to Cambridge, let's open. Oh, was it stomach ache I searched for or tummy ache? Let's go back again. I want to be sure. Tummy ache. Search again. Okay. So this was what I was expecting. If that word does not exist in the dictionary, you're going to find something like this. It's going to tell you, if it was Oxford Dictionary will tell you, I can't find that word. It's not in the dictionary, but these are other words that sound like what you're looking for. You can check out for any of them. Just like it says here. So let's check tummy alone and see if there's a way you could use it with ache. So let's go further. So here it says, let me get my pen so I can highlight. So here it says, tummy means the stomach or the, what am I doing? Press, okay, out. Tummy means the stomach. Why no? Stop this. It means the stomach or the lower front part. I don't know why this lower front part. I hope you saw that before it went up. Lower front part of your stomach. Then it further gave an example. Let's find it again. I want to be sure you can see what I saw. It further gave example and it says tummy ache. It gave a sentence example where it used tummy and ache together. It's loading. So I hope you can see that part. I'm trying to highlight, but the moment I try to highlight, something happens. Okay. So here, tummy ache. Can you see it? So it's correct English, but you need to space it. Take note of that. So yes, that person is correct. A tummy ache. So one more. Let me go back to chat. Let's find out one more. So when we talk about health challenges, most of them take A. A. You need to put that A there. A sickle cell patient. You're correct. A headache. Yes. A flu. Okay, diabetes now. This person didn't add article A to it. Diabetics. So for diabetics, if you go to the dictionary, there is no examples. Unlike when we saw for, unlike what we saw for tummy ache. So which means that the word diabetics, number one, is an uncountable word. So because of that, you do not need a singular or a plural thing to qualify it. So the person is correct. She has diabetics. So let's proceed. Let me go back to my slide now. So when you talk about health-related illness, most of them take the article A. She has a headache, a cough, a stomach ache, tummy ache, another word for stomach ache, etc. I'm trying to locate where I stopped. Okay, so that's it about articles with or without articles. There are lots of other examples that you need to learn. Just like I've said, sometimes explaining these things further confuses a rookie in this line. So most times I would always recommend that you leverage the dictionary. Please take note. It's not leverage on the dictionary, but leverage the dictionary. I'm trying to present so you can see my slide properly. It's coming up. My slide is coming up. Okay. I believe you can see my slide better now. So now let's go to next. Next, we're going to talk about mastering tenses. Let's master tenses. Now, correct tense usage is the backbone of effective communication. Tense is one of that serious challenge a lot of Nigerians have. A lot of people think and think and think again. Oh, what did I press again? To be sure if they should use have or has, or should they use do or did. These things talk about tenses. Now, tense talks about timing. It tells us, it helps us to understand the time of something, the time when an event happened, the time when a situation happened. Now we have the present, which is the basic tense, and of course we have the past. Now the past tend to be where the challenge really is for most Nigerians. Now when we talk about the past, we have the past tense and we have the past participle tense. Now there are some words that we call irregular verbs. Irregular verbs are verbs that they do not take ed when you change them from their present form to their past form. So say, for example, you have the word see. The past tense will not be seed. You will not add ed to it. For example, look at this word. The word walk in its basic form. In its past, I'm going to add ed to it. So it becomes walked. Another example, if I have the word dress, I'm just going to add ed to it, it becomes dressed. Now, these two examples are regular verbs. They are regular verbs. Excuse me. But when you have an irregular verb, when you have an irregular verb, for example, the word see, the past tense become saw. The past participle becomes seen. On and on like that. Unlike walk, excuse me, unlike walk, where the past tense is walked, the past participle is also walked. It takes ed. Another example of irregular verb, we can have the word set, S-E-T, set. That word in its basic form, that is its present simple form, its past form, even its past participle form, it retains its spelling. Set, set, set. We have lots of examples like that. So our focus tonight will be on irregular verbs. That is verbs that you do not add ed to when they are in their past form. So look at the first example I have here. It says, I had came before now. I had came. That is wrong. You cannot use the word came. Because the word come, C-O-M, the word C-O-M-E, when you look at its verb form, the past form is, the past simple is came. The past participle is come. So in this expression, where is my pen? In this expression, what we need is the past participle. So you cannot say I had came. The past participle of come is come, not came. So the right thing to say is I had come. For example, if you use the word set, so remember the past participle of set remains set as well. So you cannot say something like, she had setted the table before I came downstairs. She had set the table. Set remains set, even in its past form, whether it's the past simple form or the past participle form. Let's take another example. Please write your question somewhere so that once it's question time, you can ask. I know you have questions. So write your questions somewhere. When it's time, we can ask. So we have other examples. We have hit, H-I-T, hit. The past simple is hit. The past participle is hit. We have spit. The past simple is spot. The past participle is spot. We have cut, just like we saw in set. Cut, cut, cut. Another is broadcast. So we cannot say they had broadcasted the service before I came in. Just simply say they had broadcast the service. They had broadcast the news. They had broadcast the event before etc. So when you have words that you need to use their past participle in sentences, the first thing you need to do is to identify the past participle of such verb. Does it retain its form? Does it change its form? So those that change their form, they are the regular verbs. Those that do not change their form, like the ones that I have on the screen right now, they are the irregular verbs. Irregular verbs. Now let's move to simple hacks for using correct punctuation marks. The hacks that would help you to use the correct punctuation marks. Punctuation marks can be, should I say, it can be a pain in the ass. Sorry, a pain in the ass. It's not ass. There is not S there. It can be a pain in the ass. It can be a thorn in someone's flesh. Because it's not easy, if you ask me. So when we talk about punctuation marks, there are different types of punctuation marks. And just like we have traffic signal in the real world that tells a driver if I can go on this road, or if this particular road is just one way, or it's two-way, or I can turn here, or I cannot turn here. That is the same thing punctuation marks do in our writing, in a language. So when you speak, the way you speak and you take pauses when you speak is also the way people read. It is the way people should be able to read your writing and take pauses, especially for commas. So tonight I'm going to focus on commas. Let's look at this expression. Let's eat grammar. Without the comma there, it sounded like you want to kill grammar, then roast grammar, and then eat grammar. But the moment you add the comma, then we can save grammar. So we don't have to kill grammar again. We don't have to roast grammar. We don't have to eat grammar. Rather, we are inviting grammar to come eat with us. So if you want to say the first sentence, it sounds like this. Let's eat grandma. Let's eat grandma. Let's eat grandma. There is no pause in between the words in the sentence. While the other example, let's eat grandma. There is a pause in between let's eat. Then before you name the person you're referring to, grandma. For example, let's eat, dear friend. Let's eat, Bukola. Let's eat, Rachel. Let's eat. You're naming someone, you're calling them, you're inviting them. It's time to eat. So the comma there acts just like your pause when you speak. So sometimes one of the acts I would like you to take note of tonight is henceforth when you're writing, excuse me, please. When you're writing and you're not sure if you should add a comma somewhere or not, the first thing you can do first is say that thing like you're having a conversation. Was there any pause in between? In order for the other person to understand you well, did you have to take a pause? Did you have to take it slowly? If yes, then there is a comma somewhere. Most likely that part where you took the pause. Now we can use commas in different ways, several ways. But tonight, let's consider a few of them. So I said, comma, the traffic cop. Remember, just the way the traffic light, the traffic symbol, what they do on roads to drivers is what comma does to your reader. It is also what comma does to your listener through your tone. So think comma as a traffic cop that is directing the flow of words. Like you all know already, it helps to avoid confusion. Just like we saw in the first example I gave, let's eat grandma. It's different from let's eat grandma. It also helps to create smooth reading. When you write without punctuation marks, not just comma now. When you write without punctuation mark, generally the person reading what you've written will be confused. They won't be able to read smoothly because your comma is there to guide them, for them to know when to stop. Just like a driver, you're driving somewhere, and at that point where you want to stop, so you really need to take that stop. You need to use your brake and you stop. That is the full stop. But at that point where you just need to slow down before you continue your journey, that is just like comma. The moment where you cannot control yourself again, where maybe it was too late for you to the signal to stop, etc. That is the exclamation mark. We have the semicolon, etc. But we're not talking about all of them tonight. We're just focusing on comma. So commonly misused commas. So I'm going to talk about a few times that you should always watch out for your comma. The first is that comma called the Oxford comma. Some people call it the serial comma. You must have heard that before. The first time I heard about the Oxford or serial comma was, I think, 2018. Excuse me. Excuse me, please. I'm back, thank you. So the Oxford comma or the serial comma. Now we use this mainly in an optional way. It means that it depends on your style. Some people, when the least things, they love to use comma before the and. So they say something like, I have a pen, a pencil, a mango, and a pair of socks. Now, when they write it before and, naturally, I remember when I went for computer school then, my computer instructor taught me that when you're typing and you get to the and, you don't add comma. This is what I'm trying to say. When you're writing, I love biscuits, books, and when you get to the end, you're not expected to put comma. That is the normal way we all know it. And I love biscuits, books, and ice cream. And ice cream. Now there's another way to write this. I love biscuits, books, comma, and ice cream. We don't write ice cream as one word. It's a compound word, so it's ice cream, not together. Not you don't write ice cream together. Now both options, you can use both. Correct. You can write it as the first, you can write it as the second. So when we use the Oxford comma or the serial comma, it's an optional thing. Well, there's sometimes that without the Oxford comma, you're going to have a complex list. It's going to be confusing. For example, I have such example in my slide. So, slide chart. For example, look at these two sentences. The first, I bought apples, bananas, and oranges. Before the end, oranges, I have a comma. I can decide to also write it as I bought apples, bananas, without the comma, and oranges. Both are correct. Because this is not a complex listing. It's easy. So it becomes optional. Now, there are some things that you have to write that you must add it even before the end. Look at the second example. I invited John, Mary, comma, and my dog to the party. If this was written this way, I invited John, Mary, without the comma, then you write, and my dog to the party. It might sound like, let me write it out. It might sound like Mary is your dog. I invited John, Mary, and my dog to the party. Without the comma here, it sounded like Mary and the dog, they have something in common. Another person might even feel like Mary is the name of the dog. But with the comma there, I invited John, Mary, comma, and my. So here it's telling us that the dog there is another individual. It's an entity on its own. It has nothing to do with Mary. But without the comma, it feels like Mary and the dog has something to do. They have something in common. Maybe Mary is the dog or the dog belongs to Mary, etc. This is also an example that we usually see when we say the head teacher and English teacher. Is or are coming. So look at that sentence. The head teacher and English teacher. Sometimes we're not sure if we should use is coming or are coming. Now note that head teacher, you can either write it together or you write it separately. You can write head teacher together or you write it separately. In fact, in British English, you can just call it head. So we can, or in North American, it's called principal. So the head teacher and English teacher is or are coming. Which one is correct? Now, the head teacher and English teacher, because there is no article before English teacher, it then means that the head teacher and English teacher is one person. If the sentence has read the head teacher and the English teacher, then the answer should be are. So two different people now. But in the first example, because there is no, excuse me. In the first example, because there is no article before English teacher, then you do not need are. So head teacher and English teacher is one person. So for example, if I want to say a sentence like the diction queen and I'm trying to find another name for myself. The diction queen and celebrity diction coach is teaching. So the diction queen is still the celebrity diction coach. But if the person had said the diction queen and the celebrity diction coach, it then becomes two different people. Please, if this is clear, let me know. Please let me know if this is clear. Let me know if you understand this. Let me know in the chat if this explanation is clear. Well understood, very clear. Okay, thank you. I appreciate your feedback. It's clear, please. Well done. Thank you. So the Oxford comma or the serial comma, like I mentioned earlier, it depends on, do you want to use it? If you want to use it, if you're writing for an exam or you're writing for maybe an interview, if you're writing in a situation where you will be judged, make sure you're consistent. So if you are chose to use it as your style of writing, be consistent with it. If it's not your style of writing, make sure that you use it when you have confusing listing. That is, when you're sure that the person reading will not be clear enough. When you need it for clarity, you must use it, whether it's your style of writing or not. But if it's not for clarity purpose, if you have decided to use it in the first expression, then you should use it in the other expressions. You have to be consistent about it. Okay. Another example that I have here is, okay, another error is comma spies. Comma spies is when you join two independent clauses with only a comma. Independent clauses are clauses that they do not depend on each other. They have their own meaning. So without the other one, without the former, the latter can still retain its meaning. So for example, I love to read, comma. I also love to write. This is not standard English. Would have been better if you have written, I love to read, comma, and I also love to write. Or, I love to read, full stop. So without the other part, I love to read still has its meaning. The meaning is not affected. I love to read, full stop. I also love to write, full stop. So again, you can put your comma before your and for clarity purpose or for the sake of style of writing. Now, next is failing to use a comma after an introductory phrase. When you're trying to say something and you have used a set of words or phrase to introduce what you're saying, you're expected to use a comma. So, for example, because I was tired, I went to bed early. Because I was tired, an introductory phrase. So you need a comma before you conclude it. I went to bed early. Because I have class today, I need to stay up until this time. Because I have class today, comma, I need to stay up until this time. Full stop. So when you're writing and you're using introductory phrase, or maybe you're speaking, you need to introduce a phrase, you need to say one before the other, you need that comma. When speaking, you need the tone. Another error you should avoid is not using comma with non-restrictive clauses. Non-restrictive clauses are clauses that you do not necessarily need them in your expression. For example, the car, comma, the red one, comma, needs to be washed. If you had said the car needs to be washed, the person listening to you will understand what you're saying. So I need to wash that car. But you saying the car, the red one, that expression, the red one there, is non-restrictive clause. You do not need it there. It's not adding to the meaning. So you need a comma to differentiate it before you conclude your sentence. Like we have on the screen. My sister who lives in New York is a doctor. My sister is a doctor. That's perfect sentence. But then adding more information, who lives in New York? You do not necessarily need that. But if you have to write it, then you need to add your comma. My sister, comma, who lives in New York. New York is a proper noun, so it has to be in capitals. Who lives in New York, comma, is a doctor. Now let's move to 3 methods to improve your speaking and writing skills. 3 methods to improve your speaking and writing skills. So what are the 3 things that you can start to do henceforth to improve how you write? So you can write with good grammar, to also improve how you speak, such that when you speak with better grammar. One of them is immerse yourself in the language. Yesterday, I had a conversation with someone and he said, oh, your Yoruba is now so swift. And I replied, I've immersed myself in the Yoruba language. So now I speak Yoruba almost every time. Before now, I speak English more, but now I speak Yoruba a lot. I listen when people speak Yoruba to me. I try to make them. I say what they have said again. If I don't understand, I ask questions. And I speak it regularly. So for grammar, for English grammar, read widely and pay attention to how words are used. So if you're reading and I see I'm reading maybe an article, and I see someone say something like, we pay her on a monthly basis. Before now, maybe I'm used to we pay her on monthly basis. And now I'm seeing someone who have said or who have written, we pay her on a monthly basis. I need to start to ask questions. So the first place I would love to go to is my dictionary to confirm. Do I need the article A before monthly basis? Do I need article A before weekly basis, before daily basis, etc.? Or I see someone say something like, she raised the alarm. I'm used to hearing people say she raised an alarm. She was one that raised an alarm. I would ask question. So you have to be conscious when you read. So you can see things that are different from how you used to do them or from what you are used to. Listen actively as well. While you're listening, listen to how words have been used and ask questions around it. Is this person the correct? Is she correct? Or I've been the one who is wrong all the while? Ask questions. Then speak it regularly. So if you have learned from them, you have then asked question, you have been able to find out who's wrong. Maybe you're the one who's wrong, or she's the one who's wrong. Then you want to try to say that thing better. So speak regularly. The more you speak in that language, the better you have the chance to practice in that language. The second thing is write consistently. When it comes to grammar, when we speak, people hardly notice our grammar error. But when we write, it is very obvious. So practice writing, practice different formats of writing. Write social media posts, write journals, write stories, write articles, write motivational content. Just write. You don't have to write a 3-page content or even a 1-page content. Every day you can just tell yourself, I'll write 4 sentences, I'll write 6 sentences, I'll write half page. Just be consistent, write consistently. Then seek feedback and learn. One of the ways you can seek feedback is to join writing groups. In our 3-week grammar academy, it comes with a writing group where you're going to write. Everybody would have the same topic to write about. When you write, it helps you to master your grammar. When you read what others have written, it helps you to be conscious of your grammar. Right, join writing groups. I joined the writing group in Facebook some years back, and it was wonderful. And we're going to replicate that in the 3-week Grammar Mastery Academy. Also, take online courses, just like the one we are taking tonight. We had one last week as well. This is another one. Take online courses. On my status, on my personal contact, I'll be given access to those in the 3-week Grammar Mastery Academy, access to my status where they can learn grammar and spelling Mondays to Friday every night on my status. It's going to be a private number strictly for some set of people, those in the 3-week Grammar Mastery Academy. Take online courses. Follow people online that talks about grammar. Learn from them. Pay for courses. Attend free courses, online and offline. Of course, if you have the opportunity to also attend courses offline, fine. Practice in group and practice alone. Just like the way you pray alone, and when your prayer is answered, the world sees it and everyone congratulates you. They are happy for you. Practice alone. When you practice alone, by the time the result is there, the world will see you and they will give accolades. Would give you accolades. Practice. Practice. Like I used to say in the Diction Master Academy, practice makes perfection. That's the normal thing Nigerians will say. But I love to say, Practice brings progression. It makes you move from point A to point B, and before you know it, to point D, to point P, to point W, to point Z, and you just become an authority you must have mastered at that point. Practice. Practice alone, practice with group. Another thing we will be doing in the 3 weeks Diction Master Academy, 3 weeks Grammar Master Academy, pardon me, is we will be practicing every day, Mondays to Friday. You would have cues, you would have quiz to practice with, and you get feedback and you get feedback on each quiz Monday to Friday for 3 weeks. Remember, good grammar is just like a perfect outfit for your thoughts. It makes a great impression. So if you have questions, send in your questions before I proceed. If you have questions around what we have learned tonight, send in questions, send in your questions. Send in your questions. I will attend to the first 5 questions, then I proceed. So that we can round off very soon. Send in your questions on YouTube, on Zoom, send in your question. Can one use because at the beginning of a phrase or sentence? Yes. I remember when we were in primary school, we were told don't use because at the beginning of a sentence. So when your teacher asks you, why are you late? You would try to say something like, because it rained. Your teacher will say, no, 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 no. I have an ebook tagged lies your teachers told you about grammar. Lies your teachers told you about grammar. Those in the 3 weeks Grammar Mastery Academy will get it for free. It's sold for 7,500. Lies your teachers told you about grammar. So that's one of the lies. So yes, please, you can use because at the beginning of a phrase. If you go to the dictionary, the examples there where because is used at the beginning of phrases or sentences. Because it was so late, I found it unacceptable to send him away, right? Faith, your question is not clear. You said using and also. That question is not clear. What about I have come before now? What do you mean I have come before now? Your question is also not clear, Okwayemi. What's the next question? The right pronunciation of the word water, water. Which one is correct? Checking point or checkpoint? Okay, we have to consult the dictionary. Checking point or checkpoint. I think you should just consult the dictionary. We already learned how to do that ourselves. So please consult the dictionary. This has not occurred to me before, so I've not really worked on it. But I've seen people use words like checkpoints spelled together. I'm not saying it's correct, but I'm saying that I've seen people use it. Checkpoint, written together, no space in between. Checkpoint, and it's a noun. It's a noun. So, but you can research more in the dictionary. We emphasize on mastering tenses. Okay, what part of it would you like me to talk about? I think you should be concise. That would help me. But of course, there is no word like re-emphasize. Just say emphasize. To emphasize something means to give special importance to that thing. When you emphasize something, it means you give special attention to it. You make it easier to notice. So there's nothing like re-emphasize. Just say emphasize. Okay, techniques about starting conversations. Okay, that's not one of the things we're learning today, but I'll just mention a few. One is be in a smiley mood. What do I mean? You're going to a new environment, smile. When you smile, it tells the people in that environment already that you are open to them. But when you go to a new place and you're not even smiling, it's difficult for the people there already to want to even come around and be friend with you. Smile, smile. Another thing you could do to start conversation is give compliments, give accolades. There must be something around that amazes you or that is looking good to you. Talk about it. Say something that will make them laugh, that will make them smile at least. So the moment you're smiling and they are smiling, then the conversation will be easier. It will be easier. And also stay away from conversations that are personal. Don't ask questions like, are you married? No, no. You don't have to, don't go personal. Ask, you could talk about trendy things, things that are happening at the around at that point. You could talk about the country. You could talk about, if it was an event, you could talk about the event. When I attended TEDx Lagos, I think it was last month, the man seated beside me, we started a conversation with, wow, you got this tag? That was how the man started his conversation. Wow, you got this tag. How come? Oh, I got it because I came late. That was my response. And the next thing was, oh, why did you attend TEDx? Have you ever attended any TEDx before? And like all through the event, we were talking like we were friends. We've met before. For every breakout session we had, we were going together. Even when we needed to use the toilet, you had to use the males, I used the females. So what I'm saying is there's a way you start conversation and people are just so comfortable with you. And a relationship might start from there. Okay, is this correct? Tell him I came. Okay, yes. Tell him I was here. Yes. So came there is past tense. Simple past. Yes, it is. I'll solve that because cannot start a sentence because is a conjunction. How true is that? Like I said, because can start a sentence. Yes, conjunctions are meant to be words that join. They join. What's the word now? They join two words together or two expressions or etc. But then if is also a conjunction. If is also a conjunction. And if can start a sentence, I could say that if you see him, give him this note. If you see him, give him this note. If is a conjunction. So there is no rule that says that conjunction should not start a sentence. In fact, when you learn about conjunction further, when you learn subordinate conjunction, coordinate conjunction, you realize that most of the examples they would give, especially when we try to explain more on the use of comma, conjunctions will start a sentence. So there's nothing like conjunction. Somebody said, you started the class without telling us what grammar is. The title of the class or the topic is common grammar errors and their correction. The title is not Introduction to Grammar or What is Grammar, right? And we had a grammar class last week. So this is not even the first grammar class. So this is not an introductory class. So I'm sorry you were disappointed, but of course I believe you saw the ad. Maybe you came in straight from Facebook, you saw the ad. It's not an introductory class. But of course, what is grammar? Grammar talks about the rules in a language for changing the form of words or joining them to make sentences. So for you to have a sentence that is grammatically correct, you need to learn those rules. That a lot of them. There's Concord, there is the tenses, which seems to be a headache for a lot of people. There is punctuation marks, there is capitalization, there is S, should we argue? Those are just like creative topics. That talks about uncount words, countable words, and uncountable words, etc. So grammar is mainly about rules that help you work well. Okay, please, what is the right tense to use for it is high time? It is high time you swept the room. It is high time you cleaned the room. It is high time we 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 what? So what I'm trying to say is when you're using the word it's time, it's about time. Excuse me. It's high time. There is one other one. There's one other one. Let me go over it again. When you're using expressions like it's high time, it's about time, it's there are three of them. I can't remember. The verb there should be in the past. So you can't say it's high time we eat. You rather say it's high time we ate. You can't say it's high time we sleep. Whether you say we slept. So I hope that answers your question. You have committed my question twice, or I not seen in this group. Angel, I'm just picking the questions randomly. It depends on which one come on my screen. So I've not really seen your question. Like I said, I was just going to answer 5 questions. I think I've answered more than 5 already. Okay, so I'm trying to find your question, Angel. I can't find it. What is the difference between should in case and in case? First, the word in case is spelled separately. In and case. Don't spell it together. In and case, not in case. And try not to say should in case. Just say in case. So for example, should in case it rains. Instead of saying that, just say should it rain or in case it rains. Right? You need to go with your umbrella. You need to go with your umbrella should in case it rains. Poor English or poor grammar. Say you need to go with your umbrella should it rain, or you need to go with your umbrella in case it rains. I was told. Okay, I think I already answered that question. Is it correct? Okay, I've answered that. What about I've answered that? You made mention of has and have, do and did. Okay, has is singular and it's in the simple present. Have is also in its simple present. That is present tense. They're both present tense. Simple present. The difference is has is singular, have is plural. When you're talking about singular things, you use has. She has, he has, Bukola has. When you're talking about plural, you use have. They have, we have, etc. etc. So then had, no, it's 3 of them. We then have had. Had is now the past. Had is the past. Then also do and did. Do is the present. Did, past. Then we also have does. So just like we have has, have, had. I'm still trying to locate your question, Angel. I've not found it. Kindly recommend a good textbook for learning grammar. For beginners, I would recommend Brighter English. Buy your Brighter English, book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4, book 5. I think it gets to book 6. Brighter English. It's not even a textbook. It's like a booklet. But it's very easy to understand. I'd recommend Brighter English. We voted for them or we voted them. Excuse me. So we voted for. Yes, you can vote for something. You can vote for somebody. So we voted for Bukola. We voted for rice. We voted for this. We voted for that. Then you can vote something. So we voted Democrat, right? So you can vote for somebody. You can vote for something. You can also vote something. We voted rice. Do you understand? Okay. What again? What again? What again? Can you throw more light on article? Article, we have a, and the. So what part of article do you need me to focus on, or do you need me to talk about? So I'm going to come back to this question and answers. So please, let's proceed. I will come back to the question and answers. You can just drop them, or you can still hold on. I will come back to them. We can talk about them later. So I have an offer to make. Earlier, I have mentioned the 3-week Grammar Mastery Academy. And you might be wondering what the 3-week Grammar Mastery Academy is all about. Now, the 3-week Grammar Mastery Academy is an academy that runs for 3 weeks. It runs for 3 weeks. And in 3 weeks, we will be learning everything that you need to know under grammar. Everything. This is more like for you to be aware. In the grammar class, you will not just be aware. You will understand why. You will be able to explain it to people. You will be able to have what we call it in grammar. When you tell someone, oh, this is wrong, you need to have what lawyers would usually have. And in grammar, we call that, I'm trying to remember the name. You need to have an authority that you will try to remember that word. The word is off my head. I'm trying to find that word. So there is an authority that you need to say, okay, this is, I can't find the word. This is it. This is where I got this from. So you need to be able to say that this is the authority that makes this wrong and that makes that right. And those are the things we'll be doing in the 6-week Diction Master Academy. I do in the 6 weeks Grammar Master Academy. Don't mind me. The Grammar Master Academy is a new course. We have the Diction Master Academy that runs for 6 weeks, while the Grammar Master Academy will run for 3 weeks. It's a new course. Like we're just launching it. It's a totally new course. No one have had access to it before. So I do not know if you've ever heard an African adage that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And what that means is if you want to master the act of speaking and writing with correct grammar, you need a partner to hold you accountable towards getting results. When I was talking about the 3 methods to help you improve your grammar, I mentioned that you should have a grammar group, a writing group, where you could practice together. Aside from practicing alone, practicing together and having someone hold you accountable goes a long way. One of the things that have helped me all my life in my communication skills and even in my coaching business is accountability. When you know that if I do this thing this way, someone somewhere would ask me why. Somewhere will query me. But if there's no one to query you, you can just do it anyhow. You can decide to be lazy about it. Excuse me. You can decide to waste time. You can decide to procrastinate. So I don't know if you're here. I would like you to show me someone that has worked the work. And if you're looking for that person, I can say it's me. I have worked the work. The first grammar class I ever attended in my life was during COVID 2020 and was 30,000 Naira for 7 days. After that, I've attended numbers of, I cannot even count. And tonight I have a special offer for you. This is not for everyone, of course, just for a few. those that are ready to improve their grammar and stop being embarrassed by poor grammar. There was a time in my life as a teacher, if I want to write on the board, I'm going to consciously look around the room to see if other teachers are looking at what I was writing on the board, because I wasn't sure if I should use has or have, or I should use been or been, or I should use is or are. There was a time in my life that students would always call my attention to grammatical errors on the board. It can be very, very annoying. There's a time in my life that I would usually pay proofreaders to proofread my content before posting them on social media, but not anymore. So if you're at that point of your life where you're tired of all of these embarrassments, you want to get help, then I have a special offer for you. So what is the offer? For those of my existing WhatsApp community, because this is a mixed class, I have new people and others from my WhatsApp community. I mentioned already to you last week that we are launching our Grammar Mastery Academy tonight. And now, if you're just joining my live session for the first time as well, congratulations, because you would also be among those that would partake of this special offer. What is the Grammar Mastery Academy all about? It is a 3-week program that is designed to help you speak and write with correct English grammar so that you can have that confidence that you need. And of course, other people can also perceive you as a high-valued individual. In the Grammar Mastery Academy, lessons will be delivered Mondays to Fridays for 3 weeks on the e-learning platform. Plus, you would get access to my support group for task review. So every day, Mondays to Friday, we'll be there to review your task. Each lesson comes with a task. We'll be there to review your task. We'll be there to answer your questions. Also, we'll be there to help review your work. So maybe you're here and maybe you're writing your project, or you're a public speaker and you do slides every other time. Feel free to send them. We'll be here to help you with your grammar all through the 3 weeks. Now, the launch price for the 3 weeks Grammar Mastery Academy is 25,000 Naira. But we've got a special offer for few people tonight. Few people. The fun fact is, as you all know, people call me the Diction Queen. And my flagship program that everyone knows is the Diction Mastery Academy, which runs for 6 weeks. Right now on the Diction Mastery Academy, I don't know if you can see the screenshot. On the e-learning platform, we have 620 participants that have been approved. I don't know if you can see, let me highlight it. In the Diction Mastery Academy. This is to show that if the Diction Mastery Academy isn't worth it, we wouldn't have this number, 660. Before we launched the e-learning platform, we have had over 200 people enrolled on that course. That is the 6-week Diction Mastery Academy. For some time, we ran it without an e-learning platform until early this year when we came up with the e-learning platform. And so far, we've had 660 people on the e-learning platform for the 6 weeks Diction Mastery Academy. Now, this is another new course, 3-week Grammar Mastery Academy. You might be wondering why I'm showing you this. It is for you to, just for me to prove a point. As they would say, number never lies. Numbers do not lie. They're always there to show. So tonight, I want to give you a sweet bundle offer for those that are ready. Right now, instead of paying 25,000 for my Grammar Mastery Academy, you can claim it for free. But there's a caveat, so listen well. For you to get access to my Grammar Mastery Academy for free, you must enroll into my Diction Mastery Academy. So this is for people that are not enrolled yet into the 6 weeks Diction Mastery Academy. If you're already in the 6-week Diction Mastery Academy and you'd like to be in the Grammar Mastery Academy, hold on, I have a special offer for you. But right now, I'm giving this I'm giving my Grammar Mastery Academy, which is worth 25,000 naira. After the launch, that is how much we will be selling it. I will be giving it out for free tonight if you are in the 6-week Diction Master Academy. And what does this mean? This means that you're getting 2 highly sought after trainings on diction and on pronunciation for the price of 1. This is a special offer. Originally, the Diction Master Academy is worth 90,000 naira. But currently, it's selling for 20,999 naira. Those in the academy already know this. In case you don't know what the 6-week Diction Master Academy is all about, let me quickly go through it. The 6-week Diction Master Academy runs for 6 weeks. Mondays to Fridays, you have access to the e-learning platform where you learn at your pace, at your preferred time. So if you're a 9 to 5, you can learn before you go to work. You can learn when you return from work. You can learn in the afternoon, midnight, any time that is convenient for you, Mondays to Friday. There is an assignment for each lesson. So by 6 p.m., the assignments that have been submitted, we listen to them, we get feedback. Why on Saturday, we jump on the Zoom call, an interactive Zoom call, not something like this, an interactive call where we engage each other. I give you access to speak. I listen to how you've spoken. I give feedback. I tell you, you didn't pronounce this word well. Please pronounce again. Oh, you pronounced this well. Try this again. Why not try this other way? So I engage you during the Zoom session every Saturday. This runs for 6 weeks. And the Diction Mastery Academy, you'll get access to our e-learning platform, a lifetime access. Even after the 6 weeks, you can access the e-learning platform. You can as well join the Zoom session, even after the 6 weeks Diction Mastery Academy. You have access to 55 practical training sessions. You have access to quizzes Mondays to Fridays for assessment, and you get assessed. You have access to 12 live training sessions with interactive engagement on Zoom every Saturday. You get access to a private WhatsApp group for support. You also get access to unlimited personal support from the Diction Point. So the 6-week Diction Master Academy is a lot. You might be wondering why I am doing this anyway, why I'm going to give my 6-week Diction Master Academy and my 3-week Grammar Mastery Academy for just the price of the 6-week Diction Master Academy. The reason mainly is to help you. Before we worked on the Grammar Mastery Academy, I have got hundreds of people in my DM talking about other aspects of communication skills, talking about grammar, spelling, public speaking, vocabulary, etc. And that's why I went all the way out to bring you this to help you. So besides that, you would also get my unbeatable bonuses. You get my 20 pronunciation videos worth 20,000 naira. You get my vocabulary development PDF worth 3,500. You get my video on how to never be at a loss for words. So if you're someone that when you want to speak, you're always at a loss for word. I did a webinar. Those that attended paid 7,500 to attend. You get that for free. You'd also get my Know Your Silent Word ebook worth 2,500. You get my ebook on English punctuation marks. For those of you here that are saying, expatiate more on punctuation marks. Of course, it's one of the key things we'll learn in the 3 weeks Grammar Mastery Academy. Aside from that, you will also get my PDF on that for free. You get 100 common grammatical errors and corrections worth 5,500. You get 10 common misuse expressions and their corrections, of course, worth 3,000. You'd also get my video on how to earn more with your communication skills. This is not limited to only diction teachers. This is limited to everyone. Whatever you do, there's a way you can earn more with your communication skills. You get this also for free. Now, all of these bonuses make a total of 82,000 naira. You're getting all of these for free, plus 100% complete refund assurance. If after you have enrolled on the 3-week Grammar Mastery Academy and the 6-week Diction Mastery Academy, and you're not satisfied with the result, there's a caveat, please. You must follow the lessons. You must play your part. It's like when you send a child to school, the child also needs to play his part well. So you must play your part well. If you play your part well, you follow the lessons as we have asked that you do so. If after 6 weeks you do not get transformed, I'm going to refund you. You can record this part so you can have something to tender at that time. If you don't do your part, there's a way we would know our e-learning platform. Thank God for that. So make sure you're ready to pay the price. It's not just about the money part, but of course, attend classes, do your lessons, submit your task. When we ask you to do it again, do it again. Just follow our lead. That is what is important. You just follow our lead and you will be amazed at how much transformation you will record at the end. So my Diction Master Academy plus my unbeatable bonuses is worth 172,000 Naira. My Grammar Mastery Academy plus my unbeatable bonuses is worth 197,000 Naira. But of course, for the first 20 people tonight to grab my Diction Master Academy, you are going to get my Grammar Master Academy for free. So all you need tonight to access the Diction Master Academy, you will learn diction, start to speak better with proper pronunciation without sounding fake in 6 weeks. And you will learn grammar. You will stop worrying when you're chatting with your friends, when you're when you're working with someone, or you're someone you want to speak. Stop overthinking, because you must have mastered the tools, must have mastered the secrets to speaking with great pronunciation and correct diction. So tonight, you're getting all of these with my bonuses for just 20,999 Naira. So if you're ready to grab this offer, this is just meant for 20 people. Once we have 20 people, the offer is off the table. Remember, once the offer is off the table, it means you have to pay for these courses separately. You pay for the 6-week Diction Master Academy, 20,999 Naira, and you pay for the Grammar Mastery Academy, 25,000 Naira. But if you're one of the first 20 people to pay tonight, you're just paying 20,999 Naira for both the 6 weeks Diction Mastery Academy and the 3 weeks Grammar Mastery Academy. That is 9 weeks of transformational learning to help you become that confident person that can stand up and open your mouth to speak, and not just to speak, but to impress anyone listening to you with your great diction without sounding fake and your correct grammar. So I have the account details on the screen right now. If you'd like to be one of the first 20 people to get all of these, my Diction Master Academy, 6-week Diction Master Academy, my 3 weeks Grammar Master Academy, my bonuses, if you're one of the first 20 people to get all of this, plus complete money refund if you don't get value after joining these courses. All of these, you're getting it tonight for just 20,999 Naira. And this is just for the first 20 people. Once you make your payment, send your receipt to the group. Our team is already in the group to see. Once we get 20 people, the offer is off the ground. The Grammar Mastery Academy starts to be a course on its own, and it's going to be selling as 25,000 Naira. Now, if you're already in the 6 weeks Diction Mastery Academy and you want to enroll on the Grammar Mastery Academy, or maybe you're not interested in working on your pronunciation, you just want to work on your grammar, I have an offer for you as well. Instead of getting the grammar course for 25,000, you will get it for just 10,999 Naira. This is just for 10 people. So once we get 10 people who wants to enroll on the Grammar Mastery Academy alone, once you get 10 people who pays 10 people for 10,999 Naira, the fee goes back to 25,000 Naira. So please send your receipt to your group. Once you send your receipt to the group, we send you access to the course immediately. If you have questions about any of the courses, ask your question, let me know. If you have made your payment, send your receipt to the group. Once we get 20 people that will get the 6-week Diction Master Academy for 20,999 Naira, and we get 10 people that would get only the Grammar Mastery Academy for 10,999 Naira, the fee goes back to its original fee. And of course, you would also not have access to the bonuses. So if you have made payment, send it to the group. We have offer for just 20 people. If you're one of the 20 people and you're tired of embarrassing yourself, I got tired of embarrassing myself in 2020 and I had to cough out 30,000 Naira. It wasn't convenient. In fact, I can remember I borrowed that money. And now I'm glad I took that effort. I don't have to look around the room before writing on the board. I don't have to be conscious that my students would tell me, oh, Miss Bukola, there's an error there. Anywhere I go to, I know the right thing to say. Even when I don't know it at that point, I know what to consult. I know the right thing to do. And that alone is giving me this confident vibe. So if you're here, you want to improve your pronunciation skill, as well as your grammar skill. Tonight, just tonight, for 20 people, you would get access at 20,999 Naira. After tonight, the grammar fee goes to 25,000 Naira. And the pronunciation fee, of course, it remains 20,999 Naira. But then you will not have access to the bonuses. Okay, so if you've made your payment, send your receipts to the group. Let's know. If you're already in the 6-week Diction Master Academy, I want to enroll in the Grammar Master Academy alone. You're expected to pay 10,999 Naira. So the bonuses again, you would get your bonuses worth 92,000. So if you have questions around, I can see your receipt already. Keep sending them, because once it's 20, the offer is off the table. So if you have questions about the courses, maybe the grammar course or the diction course, please ask your question. If you have questions about any of the courses, please ask your question. Please ask your questions. Please ask your questions. Ask your questions. I think 5 slots is gone already. Once we have 20 slots, we are good to go, and you can buy the course at their normal fee. If I were you, I'll get them tonight because I will be saving a lot. All the same, I'm transformed. Ignorance is more expensive than knowledge. Knowledge is power. Dr. Lao Fumilayo, she's one of those in the 6-week Diction Master Academy. And I'll read what she wrote again. She says, I am transformed. 5,999. No, there is no cost for 5,999 Naira. The courses are, is either you're going for the 6-week Diction Master Academy and the Grammar Master Academy, which is 20,999 Naira, or you're going for the Grammar Master Academy, which is 10,999 Naira. There is no cost for 5,999 Naira tonight. So Dr. Lao says, all the same, I'm transformed. Ignorance is more expensive than knowledge. Knowledge is power. You can say that again. Indeed. Embarrassment is more expensive. Ignorance is more expensive. There's some things that people will not even call you for because of how you sound. It's just normal. There's some things people will not just call you for because of how you sound. Somebody says, when are we rounding off? The e-learning course for those of us who have done up to, please, this is not the place for this question. We had a Zoom class yesterday. You could have asked there, or you just send it to the group. This is not the place for this question. Thank you. If you have other questions, please send. Somebody said this is advert. Yes, it is advert. And it's not just advert, it is an offer, a great one at that. Chai, Diction Queen, you done overnight this set, oh. Ma'am, I don't hear when new people grab this, so I wish I'm new today. So it says, how much is... I enjoyed the class, thank you. Where is it? Struggling with calling letter, the sound. Eh, 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 eh. I want to take a bath, or I want to have a bath. Okay. When we talk about the word bath, first, let me start with the pronunciation. You can have it as a long sound for British bath, as a short sound for American bath. Now, according to the Oxford Dictionary, verbs that you can use with bath, you can use take. So I can say, I want to take a bath. You can also use have. I will have a bath, according to the Oxford Dictionary. I do not know if other dictionaries have preferences, but you can consult. Is it supposed to be 3 weeks or 3 week as you pronounce? Okay, it depends on what you've written. You can write it as 3 weeks, but what I am pronouncing is 3-week Grammar Mastery Academy. That's what I'm pronouncing. 3-week Grammar Mastery Academy. That's what I'm pronouncing. Blessing, thank you. You're welcome. I'm on uniform or I'm in uniform. Okay. On uniform or in uniform. I know of jean or shirts. Excuse me, please. I know of that. But for uniform, I'm not sure. I'll get back to you in the group. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's on uniform or in uniform. Though I've read before where you have in a uniform, in the uniform, but I don't know of on uniform. I know of in the uniform or in a uniform. I know of that, right? But I don't know of on uniform or in uniform. So I'll research and get back to you on that. You can also ask in the group so I do not forget. Okay, somebody says, I was thinking the academy would help to group the student into group, ma'am, as promised in the induction session. Yes, please. The group, like I said, this is not even the time for this question, please. But yes, please. The group is usually held during a breakout session. I've sent my proof, okay? That's fine. Just send it. The admin will take notes and you'll be attended to. Maybe not tonight because it's late, or you'll be attended to. You're safe. It's a safe sport. Thank you so much, my Diction Queen, okay? So the Diction Mastery Academy, like somebody asked, yes, we group students. We group them during the Zoom session. So in the Zoom session, how we run the Zoom session is week 1, we have question and answer. Week 2, we have learning. Week 3, we have question and answer. Week 4, we have learning. So during the learning session, when we tend practice, we then group into breakout session. So if you attended the Zoom session in the 6-week Diction Mastery Academy 2 weeks ago, last week, no, yesterday, today's Sunday, okay, beginning of another week, like we used to say. So last week, that is yesterday's Zoom class, we had question and answer. That was why we didn't have breakout session. The previous week, we had breakout session where the participants, those that attended the Zoom session that day, were grouped. I think we had about 8 groups that day, where they practiced together and were able to also help each other to improve better. So that is one of the things we do in the Diction Mastery Academy. If you have other questions, please ask. I've sent my receipt. That's fine. Once you send your receipt, we'll get it. Well done, Diction Queen. I enjoyed the series of training here. My diction has improved tremendously. Thank you, Billy. Billy is also one of the participants in the 6-week Diction Mastery Academy. The thing is, one of the reasons why when we hold classes like this, we even like people from our community to attend. If it was a situation where we're not delivering what we had promised, we would not always give old participants to attend, because they can come out and say, but you promised this and you didn't give this. But in a situation where people that are already there, they're coming out to say, yes, I have improved, and they're saying, oh, you're nice to these people. That woman that wrote that comment that we are nice to you, they paid differently. During their time, the Grammar Master Academy wasn't here. They got into the Diction Master Academy alone for 20,999 naira. And here you are getting into both the Sixth Diction Master Academy and the Grammar Master Academy for just the same fee they used for only the Diction Master Academy. The truth is, very soon after the launch, the Grammar Master Academy is become a course on its own. It's a course on its own. It has nothing to do with grammar, with diction. So we would stop selling them together and you have to pay for them separately. So if you don't pay now and you will still want to pay later, definitely you will pay more. Brian says, can I pay tomorrow? Yes, you can pay tomorrow, but of course this offer is just tonight. Tomorrow the offer changes, especially once we get the 20 people. The offer changes. So yes, you can pay tomorrow. It's fine, but you might not get access to this offer tomorrow. One of public speaking course, I really need to overcome stage fright. Right now, we do not have a group class on public speaking. We only have a personalized class. So if you're interested in enrolling on a personalized class, you can reach out. We have a personalized class and it's cost 300,000. So if you'd like to know more about it, you can just reach out. Then we can have we can talk about it and you can enroll. Okay, can I pay tomorrow? I think I've attended to that. Thank you, Samsung. Salia, I appreciate you too. Okay, eat your food in time or on time. Both have different meanings. In time means before time. So say, for example, you're meant to get to school at 10 a.m. and you got to school by 9:48 a.m. It means you got to school in time. In time. But if you got to school exactly 10 a.m., then you got to school on time. So they have different meanings. So if you're saying eat your food in time, so perhaps you had told the person that, okay, we only have 10 minutes for lunch. So the person was able to finish the food in less than 10 minutes, then you can say that she ate her food in time, right? Thank you for this powerful lecture. You're welcome, Rosemary. Thank you. You are good. Thank you, Philomena. Please, I need to discuss privately with you. Let me know the possibility, ma'am, of discussing privately with me. You can leave a message, leave a WhatsApp message. After leaving the WhatsApp message, then you call. Leave a WhatsApp message to any of the admin's contacts in the group. I don't know which of the groups you are. Leave a WhatsApp message, and after the WhatsApp message, you call. So that way I would know it's urgent. Then once I have access to the device, it will be passed to me. Okay, I think I've answered that. I really appreciate all your benevolence. You are the best. Thank you, Angel. Thank you so much. She don't has it, or she don't have it. She didn't has it, or she didn't have it. Okay? It depends on what you're saying. Excuse me, please. Excuse me, I'll be there. I'm trying to. Oh, no, come on. Okay. So it depends on what you're saying. So because you're using she, you're not supposed to use don't. You could have just said doesn't. So she doesn't, not don't. She doesn't have it. So for example, maybe you're looking for something and somebody's saying she doesn't have what you're looking for. She doesn't have it, right? Then the other one, she didn't have it. So did there is pointing out to past situation. So maybe you're talking about something that has happened before. She didn't have that. So didn't, past. But then don't use don't there. Rather use doesn't. She doesn't. She doesn't. instead of she didn't. Okay, more questions or more answers? More questions, more questions, more questions, more questions. You can still make your payment. Once we get 20 people, the offer is gone forever. My request on adult beginners. All this same, appreciate you ever. God bless you and reward you. I do not understand your request, Oluyemi. I do not understand your request. Make me understand. Okay, you'd like to talk to me privately? Fine, just follow the same thing. On bed, on the bed, or in the bed? Okay. When we talk about bed, you can use in and on, right? So I can say in bed. When you're in bed, it means that you are on the bed, perhaps under your duvet, ready to sleep. You are in bed. So you lay in bed, or he lay in bed, etc. On the bed. When you use on, you need the article the. On the bed. So when you're on the bed, it means you are on top of the cover. So you're on top of your duvet. Many times we say that you're not ready to sleep. You're just there resting on the bed. Maybe you sat on the bed and you are what's the word now? You are maybe pressing your phone or something. Then you are on the bed. Did you receive my receipt? Please send it to the group. All receipts will be attended to. You have done justice to all. Please, I enrolled on your birthday. Should I pay again for the Grammar Master Academy? No, please. No, that covers for the Grammar Master Academy. Is it please, I need your help, or please, I need your help? You're saying the same thing. And why is your please not written in, why is it not spelled completely? Please spell it completely. Okay, I think I've attended to all questions. I've attended to all questions. Okay, so thank you everyone for attending. Thank you so much. For those who paid, congratulations, as the fee will be off. So it's normal by once we get 20 people. So thank you everyone. Have a great evening. I would appreciate if you can talk about this class in the group or online. Tell us about it. Let's know how helpful it is to you. Let's know if you learned anything new. Let's know if it's worth your time, your data, effort, and everything. If you'd like to also recommend to other people, please let know. I appreciate. Thank you. Oluchi, yes, if you're only in the 6 weeks Diction Master Academy and you want to improve your grammar, then I recommend you enroll on the Grammar Master Academy. What we'll be learning in the Grammar Master Academy is different from what we are learning in the Diction Master Academy. And because you're already in the Diction Master Academy, if you're following, you should already know that you will get what's the word now? You will get value. So bye-bye, everyone. Have a great evening. Please, we look forward to your feedback. Please send your feedback to the group. Thank you.